I'd like to do a recap of the incidents of yesterday, the 24th, Tuesday the 24th, of the officer-involved shooting at 3539 Beach Boulevard. At 1:53 a.m., officers arrive to assist bail bond agents at the apartment complex. At 2:04, they check back and go back into service. At 2:06, we receive another call from the bail bondsman and also a 911 call from the resident in apartment number 1107. At 2:12, 3 officers arrive at the complex. The call is an armed suspicious person. It is upgraded when they arrive to a home invasion, armed home invasion. 2:12, the officers arrive. At 2:13, they announce shots are fired, and shortly thereafter, they request rescue. Officer Jason Bailey was the officer that shot with his AR-15 rifle. Yesterday, we had a couple of names, but the name on the paperwork used by the bail bondsman at the scene was Downtown Make It Happen Bail Bonds. And the bondsman involved was Rice, which is R-H-Y-S, Wharton, W-H-A-R-T-O-N, a black male 27 who was not injured. Vern Williams, a black male 37 years old who is in stable but critical condition at Shands. And Antonio Cooks, a black male 32 who was dead at the scene. The bondsmen were looking for a Frederick Walker, a black male 31 who had a capias for driving while license suspended, habitual traffic offender, and attaching tag not assigned. So those are all the names, the name of the bail bonds company, and I'll answer questions if you have them.
When did they first contact JSO for help in assisting getting this guy?
What time did the bail bonds call?
Yeah.
It's earlier. It's probably 20 minutes prior to the officers, 20, 30 minutes before they go. They arrive at the scene.
They don't call 911, they call a non-emergency.
No, they call a regular number. We need officers to assist. We're trying to serve a bond here and pick up a guy. We'd like JSO assistance.
So when the 911 calls came in at 2:06, the 911 dispatcher necessarily didn't know that there was another group of officers out there assisting these bail bondsmen.
And I don't want to get too complicated with there's receiving officers upstairs. Every time they call, they get a different receiving officer. So as these calls are being received and dispatched, it's by different people.
Was Officer Bailey aware that there was another call when he arrived?
No, he was not. Those officers that arrived the second time were not aware of the first call.
I know it's common for bondsmen and bondspeople to call and ask for assistance, right? I mean, you do go along.
Not as common as you think.
But it does happen, right?
It does happen.
Okay.
But it's not an everyday, it's not a usual or an event that we deal with all the time.
Is it common that bondsmen show up wearing black and carrying guns and wearing masks?
I've not seen that. I can't tell you what they do or don't do because normally we aren't involved in that. Normally they don't need our assistance. I mean, that's not, unless someone's inside or for whatever reason they believe they need our assistance, they call us.
Were the bondsmen breaking any laws at the time that you know of when they were trying to make entrance to this apartment or contact the person inside?
At the time where they're trying to contact the person inside, no.
Okay. Were they properly, were they wearing all the proper clothing that they're required to wear?
I don't know that there is and I won't get into that because I know the state attorney's office is looking into what the bondsman's authority is in those types of situations. What they're required to wear or not wear, that's not outlined.
Do you know if they were wearing
statute.
badges?
They did have some markings on their shirt, surety, agent on the sleeves, but they are all dressed in black, and some of them have badges. So, and the badges, I know one of them at least says surety agent.
Did Officer Bailey make contact with them before opening fire?
No, he did not.
There was.
I mean, you've got a tactical situation when they arrive. That call is upgraded to an armed home invasion, and from listening to the tapes, this woman believes that her home is being broken into, and she relays that to the dispatcher, who is relaying that to the officers arriving on the scene. So they do a tactical approach, and I think yesterday I said 2 officers to the front. It's actually 2 officers to the rear and 1 officer around to the front. So
There was a miscommunication somewhere because they were asking for help. I mean, they were trying to do a job, and they asked you guys for help. Officers go out and then leave. Do we know why that second group of officers, and watch command or whatever, didn't know about that first group?
that's all part of the investigation. Those are things we will be looking at too, and I mentioned that yesterday. I mean, this is a long, drawn-out investigation. It's a thorough investigation. It's an investigation done by the state attorney's office, our cold case unit. All of those things will be looked at.
Do we know at this point, a day after, I mean, do we know if any kind of procedure was violated at this point? Do we have any idea?
No, we don't. No, not at this time. No.
Okay, but you're still looking, and that's something you're
Yes,
still looking
we're still
into?
looking at. There's a lot of things happening at the same time. That I can tell you. There's a lot of things, a lot of phone calls being made to our dispatch center all at the same time. So you got 2 different zones involved: the Zone 2 officers and Zone 3 officers. Beach Boulevard splits the line. So you've got 2 different zones involved and multiple calls to the comm center, and that's part of it. So those are all things we will look at as we review this case.
Couple more questions, please, then we're going to end the press conference. Couple more questions.
Was that second set of officers, were they nearby when
Yes,
were they across the street?
They weren't across the street. They were close by though. They were within a mile of when the call went out.
And was this a local warrant for this fellow Walker? Was it
Yes, he is, and he is a local man.
Has he been apprehended, or is he?
No, he has not been apprehended at this time.
Was he there?
No, he was not there.
He's from Jacksonville?
He's from Jackson.
With these other 3 men, these bail bondsmen, are they from out of town? You mentioned the one local agency.
They have local addresses.
Okay.
We're
None of
hearing
them
that
have
the
weapons?
third bondsman
Yes.
was hogtied and put in the back of a patrol car for 5 hours.
No, that's not true.
Can you say how many times the deceased bondsman was shot?
Multiple. I don't have a count for you now exactly how many times he's shot. He has multiple entrymen.
From the witnesses you have, did they make any effort to identify themselves at all? I mean, when the officers got, the second group came, I mean,
Are you talking about the officers? Or you talking about the agents?
I'm talking about the agents.
No, I don't think anybody had time to do anything. So at this point, that's another thing we're looking at that will be a point of the investigation.
All right, Director, thank you, sir.
All right.